timetable, I think, the classes starts at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then we had a last class at 5:20 in the evening. So you don't have time for other important things. Okay, so I personally believe that when it comes to BCom honors, IPCW is very underrated.
Hi everybody, welcome to my channel and welcome to the 12th episode of Perspectives. Today we have with us Khushi Bajpai. She is a third year student at Indraprasth College for Women, University of Delhi. Hi Khushidi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Ashi?
I'm also doing good. Let's directly dive into the questions. I'll be first of all asking you about your experience at college. ये starting के 2 साल जो थे, how was them? Like entire experience of being at IPCW and Delhi University. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so like शुरू से शुरू करते हैं तो first of all it wasn't definitely not up to my expectations. It was not at all what I expected it to be. But eventually, I adapted myself to the environment at IPCW. I finally accepted that this is it. सबसे पहले तो I wasn't able to accept that I couldn't get into my dream college. So for me, this journey has taught me a lot. Like this has taught me resilience and the art of adapting yourself to the situation and trusting the process. So now when I look back, I think these 2 years have been incredible and have definitely made me a better version of myself.
Okay, so what would be the three takeaways you'd like to share with everybody else from your first 2 years of college?
ओके सो सबसे पहले जैसा कि I've already said कि I couldn't get into my dream college, so initially it was very difficult for me to focus on what I wanted to do. पहले I had this plan कि मुझे college जाके ये करना है वो करना है, but when I got into IPCW, I was lost. I'll be honest, I was very lost. So my takeaway from my journey would be number one, acceptance. Let's say आप अपने ड्रीम कॉलेज में नहीं जा पाते हो, it is completely okay, it is completely fine. It's just the starting, it's not the ending. And your college life is definitely what you make out of it. And the second would be कि there's so many opportunities available. And जो भी if you're not getting, like, there are top colleges that do get so many opportunities without they like doing something extra for that. When you're from like a top tier 2 college, or let's say a tier 3 college, you have to work a little extra for getting those opportunities. I think never restrict yourself, give your 100%, do what you like. And third would be for me is definitely would be to get out of your comfort zone. अगर आपको कुछ भी करने में डर लगता है, definitely try that. I mean, मैं अपने personal experience से बोल रही हूँ. I used to be the kind of person, I was very मेरा सेल्फ एस्टीम बहुत ही कम था, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. व्हेन आई गॉट इनटू कॉलेज, आई स्टार्टेड ट्राइंग आउट थिंग्स जो मैं करने से डरती थी. एंड व्हेन यू डू दैट, इवन लाइक द टाइनीएस्ट थिंग्स, लाइक very small milestones, do that, like what you're afraid of doing, and definitely when you look back, you will be very proud of yourself. So these are my three takeaways.
Okay, great takeaways. We now move to talking about IPCW. The college lies in North Campus and is eyed by a lot of students because of its popularity, about the infrastructure, and about its location, and about the humanities courses that IPCW offers. So,
Yeah.
what would be the three positives you'd like to talk about IPCW?
Okay, so सबसे पहले I think the faculty is really good. I mean, IPCW is known for its art courses, especially psychology. Number one, I think the faculty is really good, and the academic part, I think, like I heard students from other colleges saying कि classes cancel हो जाती हैं and those things. But I think IPCW में it's very rare अभी कि class is getting cancelled. So the management is very particular about that. The faculty is very good. Now, the second would definitely be the infrastructure. I mean, IPCW is really famous for its, like, the beautiful campus, the aesthetics.
Let's move on to the three negatives of IPCW because it is important
Okay,
कि हम major negatives highlight करें so that the people know out there.
okay. Hmm. Okay, so for me, number one would be definitely the societies. Like societies are not very active. Like events भी बहुत कम होता है. एंड इवेंट्स का जो स्केल होता है वो भी बहुत कम होता है. एंड व्हेन इट कम्स टू सोसाइटीज आई थिंक स्टूडेंट्स हैव वेरी लेस नंबर ऑफ ऑप्शंस. मतलब उनके पास ज़्यादा ऑप्शंस नहीं है कि वो अपने इंटरेस्ट के बेसिस पे किस सोसाइटी में जाना चाहेंगे, क्योंकि द ऑप्शंस आर वेरी लिमिटेड. Now, the second for me personally, I think the Abhi recently the college is very strict about the attendance part, which is justified on their part. I mean, it is good. They think that it is good for the students to attend the classes, but I think the 68% criteria and detaining the students, I really don't like it, and it is very, 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 very stressful for the students. Also, the timetable, I think, the classes starts at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then we had a last class at 5:20 in the evening. So you don't have time for other important things. अगर आप कॉलेज भी जाते हो, लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट, कॉलेज में उतनी पढ़ाई नहीं हो पाती है. So especially for the students who are preparing for professional courses, let's say CA, CFA, or abhi we are in third year of our college. So most of us are preparing for a masters. So uske liye bhi you don't have time. And uh, like as I said कि जो students CAT के लिए भी prepare करेंगे, they also have very, मतलब it is very stressful for them. So second, this would for me this would be, and third I would say, since it is a girls' college, I think interaction uh, is very मतलब minimal with, and also the campus is very isolated from the North Campus. Although it is a North Campus college, but it has this off-campus vibe. So it is kind of isolated from the main campus. So your interaction with the other colleges, the students, is very less compared to the other North Campus colleges. And since it is a girls' college, so there's not this, I would say, the diversity. So for me, these three are points are the negatives.
Okay, great insights. I believe let's move on to talking about girls' colleges. अभी आपने state किया that IPCW being a girls' college is lack diversity. So there's a consensus that girls' colleges are toxic. So what's your opinion on girls' colleges being called toxic? Let's talk about that.
Okay, so I get this question a lot. I mean, people have this preconceived notion that girls' colleges are very toxic. So, सबसे पहले when I got into IPCW, I've been a kind of person that I value female friendships a lot in my life. Like I have some great female friends. So when I got into IPCW, I would say this is true to some extent. It is true. I mean, also you cannot generalize that everybody is like that. Matlab, I think everywhere you'll go, you'll find different sort of people. There will be people who will be toxic, and there will be people who are extremely kind, generous, and supportive, and will always be there for you. So like I like I watched the last episode of Perspectives where Kamna said कि आप जैसे होते हो आप अल्टीमेटली वैसे लोगों को ही अट्रैक्ट करते हो. So I think from my personal experience, uh, it does take time to find the right kind of people. It might get toxic at some point, but अगर आपको आपके जैसे like-minded लोग मिल जाते हैं, then it is not very difficult to survive in a girls' college. I mean, there are people who are very supportive, who are very understanding, who are very generous and kind. So yeah,
Okay, so that totally depends on how you approach people and how you talk to
exactly.
people. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Now let's move on to course specifics. BCom Honors is one of the top rated courses at
yeah.
University of Delhi. बहुत सारे applicants आते हैं and बहुत doubts भी रहते हैं. So IPCW में BCom Honors is not that much talked about. सो आपका रिव्यू ऑफ बी कॉमर्स एट आई पी सी डब्ल्यू क्या रहा है अभी तक इन दीज 2 years? लाइक हाउ इज़ द कोर्स की लेगेसी, हाउ इज़ द फैकल्टी एंड एवरीथिंग दैट लाइक टू स्टेट.
Okay, so I personally believe that when it comes to BCom honors, IPCW is very underrated. I myself wasn't aware कि मतलब I was also very disappointed कि मेरे को IPCW मिला है. But when I got into IPCW, I realized it is very underrated. Like I've talked to students from Daulatram. Even Daulatram is considered better than IPCW. When it comes to the comparison. So I think IPCW is very underrated. The faculty, as I've already mentioned, is very good. Like it is very good, and also the internship opportunities that students get. We have like a academic society also. So, and also the placements. Like I myself being like a third year student, I'll be sitting for the placements this year. So next year I could tell you better about the placement thing. But what I have seen from the last performance of the students, I personally believe that IPCW should be considered among the top 10 colleges for BCom honors. It is really, I mean, it is really good. It is very underrated. That's what I believe.
Okay, that. Now we'll move to talking about CUET. As the next CUET will be happening next year, what would be some tips, like three tips you'd like to provide the students who will be giving CUET next year?
I think number one would be uh, NCRT. मतलब NCRT is the base. Like NCRT अच्छे से पढ़ो and throughout your year अगर आप अच्छे से prepare करते हो from NCRT and आप उसके like अपने boards के लिए prepare करने के साथ साथ if you know start solving some subjective questions then you can easily crack CUET. आपका conceptual knowledge अच्छा होना चाहिए. Next, I would say practice. Practice as many questions as you can. Practice is the key. Third would be, you know, take care of your mental health. Do not stress. Matlab, it's I know college is such an important phase of anybody's life, but do not consider yourself as a failure if you can't get into your dream college. Trust the process. Just give you 100% and let it be. बाकी जो होगा अच्छा ही होगा.
Okay, great insights. We'll now talk about your CUET score and about the cutoffs for IPCW. Like ऐसा कोई specific cutoff होता नहीं है, but any general idea about how much score would be required to get into IPCW for BComers?
Okay, so my CUET score was 750 out of 800, and I think the cutoff for IPCW in 2022 was somewhere between 740 to 750. And when I talk to juniors, so last year जिन्होंने admission लिया था in 2023, I think the cutoff has increased from like it is now somewhere between 755 to 765. Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll be moving to talking about the top 5 girls colleges according to you for BCom honors क्योंकि girls colleges के बारे में उतनी बात नहीं होती है. So we'll talk about girls colleges, the top 5 girls colleges for BCom honors at University of Delhi. We'll rank
Okay,
them
so
1 to 5.
okay, okay, number one would be LSR. Second, I would rank IPCW. Third would be Daulat Ram. Then I would rank like between Gargi or Maitri. And then fifth, I'll rank Jesus and Mary. I'm not very much aware about like what exactly मतलब BCom honors students का experience वहाँ पे कैसा होता है. But what I've heard from the students, this would be my ranking. This is totally on the basis of my little knowledge that I have.
Okay. Now we'll be talking about college versus college. I'll give you two college versus colleges के option and then we can talk about further उनके बारे में. You just
Okay.
stated कि DRC and IPCW के बीच में ऐसा थोड़ा conflicted opinion रहता है कि दोनों में से कौन सा better है. So DRC versus IPCW will talk on some factors.
Okay, so सबसे पहले I visited like once. We went together, in fact. So, comparing the infrastructure, I believe IPCW is way better than DRC, and I'll be honest. Then I have talked to students about the faculty and etc. What I heard from them, based on their opinion, I think again IPCW is better. The only and the placements also, I think same ही रहता है DRC and IPCW में. Uh, the numbers, the offer letters that the students receive, the number of placements, is almost the same. Now, I think the only factor differentiating IPCW or DRC, where DRC को थोड़ी edge मिल जाती है, is its location. Like it is located in the main campus, and IPCW वो थोड़ा isolated है. तो मेरे opinion में, I would definitely rank IPCW number one. I mean, it is. I will consider it better as DRC, considering the other factors as well the location of the college.
Okay. Apart from these two girls' colleges, we'll move to North Campus. Like you've been to North Campus, थोड़ा बात भी किया है about like to the students of the college study. तो वहाँ पर there's a general ऐसा थोड़ा जो conflict रहता है for BComers is between Hindu and Hansraj. So what do you think? Which college is better for BComers?
I think Hansraj, I would choose Hansraj. Hindu, I think, is more better for like art courses. Again, Hindu is a very prestigious college, but for BCom honors, I would rank Hansraj like before like Hindu.
Okay. Now the last question. What would be some advices that you'd like to give to the first year students, क्योंकि वो लोग ऐसा बिल्कुल under confidently college में enter कर रहे होंगे. Some advices that can boost their confidence up.
ओके सो सबसे पहले तो आई वुड से कि जब आप कॉलेज में आते हो आपकी बहुत सारी एक्सपेक्टेशंस होती हैं एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम इट द रियलिटी इज नॉट व्हाट यू एक्सपेक्टेड इट टू बी. तो इतना ज़्यादा डिसहार्टेंड होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. एक्सेप्ट द रियलिटी एंड start to figure out कि what do you like, what are your interests, and take internship opportunities, participate in societies. And there is this, अभी जब DU में students आएंगे, they'll get to hear this a lot. Everybody is doing internships, and they might feel that they are not doing as good as others are. It is okay to feel that way. Everybody has their own journey. आपको खुद से किसी को compare करने की जरूरत नहीं है. अगर कोई आपसे बेटर कर रहा है तो टेक दैट एज एन इंस्पिरेशन एंड जस्ट डू व्हाट यू लाइक. these 3 years of college are the best years of your life. Your college life is definitely what you make out of it, and it totally depends on you, what you do and what you like. And whatever, there will be highs, there will be lows, but after 3 years when you look back at yourself, you'll definitely be proud of who you have become, and I'm very sure that you'll have great memories to cherish for the rest of your lives.
Okay, some great advices. We'll now move on to the closing statements. Anything that you'd like to say before the podcast ends?
Okay, so all I wanted to say कि जो भी podcast देख रहे हैं, I think this is a great initiative, and thank you Ashi for having me. I always wanted to do something like this, and I'm so grateful for considering me that I could do this. Initially, I was very nervous whether I could be a part of something like this, but thank you so much. You truly inspire me in so many ways, and I'm sure that this will help the viewers a lot, the juniors. And बाकी my message to the juniors would be जो अभी college enter करेंगे, अगर कोई IPCW आ रहा है, I would love to connect with them, and if they have any problems, they can definitely reach out to me. And बाकी all I say is all the best. Enjoy your time at PU. It is the best time of your life, and yeah, just enjoy your college life.
Thank you so much. Everything you just said means a lot to me. Guys, if you have any doubts, any questions, you can reach out to Khushi on LinkedIn. I'll link her LinkedIn down in the description. Thank you for watching the podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like this video and make sure to subscribe because you don't want to miss the next episode. वो भी बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़िया होगा. So make sure that you like this video. We'll be back with another podcast. Make sure to tune in. Bye bye.
Bye.